Hello, y'all, it's your boy, Pipitich again, with another LOL Wild Rift video. For today's video, let's talk about LOL Mobile Wild Rift Guide. Introduction to the vocabulary and roles. Let me know what y'all think. Comment down below the heroes you want to use in Wild Rift. So, let's stop the talking and start with the video. Let's start off with describing some of the slang I will be using and part of the LOL community. Abilities, QWER, and wards. Auto attack equals basic attacking, the basic move all champions have. AD equals physical damage, known as attack damage, and reduced by armor. Increases the damage autos deal. AP equals magical damage, known as ability power, and reduced by magic resist. Mana equals a resource most champions use, abilities consume this resource, but it regenerates over time. True damage equals damage not affected by resistances. Lethality equals flat armor penetration that scales with your champion's level. Auto reset equals an ability that refreshes your auto attack timer. This is commonly abused to attack faster by auto-ing, then immediately using the ability to instantly attack again. Recast equals abilities that can be used multiple times. Channel equals your champion cannot use abilities and typically can't move during this ability. Lifesteal equals you heal off of the damage your auto attacks deal. Grievous wounds equals debuff that reduces a percentage of the champion's healing. On hit equals effects that only apply on auto attacks or certain abilities that state they apply on hit effects. CDR cooldown reduction equals reduces cooldowns on most abilities, capped at 40%. CC equals crowd control, has two types hard and soft. Soft CC equals slows, silences, etc. These CC don't stop enemy characters from moving. Hard CC equals roots, stuns, knockups, knockbacks, etc. These stop enemy characters from moving. Tenacity equals a stat that reduces the duration of most CCs. This stacks multiplicatively. Unstoppable equals cannot be crowd controlled during this ability or effect, however CC will be applied after, if it lasts long enough. Peel equals keeping enemies away from a teammate, typically done through CC. Execute equals an ability or effect that deals more damage based on the target's missing health. Takedown equals getting a kill or assist on an enemy champion. Champions equals the characters you play as. Herald equals Herald is a neutral monster that either team can kill to gain an Eye of the Herald. The team that kills it can have one teammate pick it up, replacing their ward with the Eye. This player then gets an enhanced recall to recall faster. The Eye can then later be summoned to help push turrets. Note: it will not target enemy champions when summoned, but can damage them with its charge. The Herald can respawn an additional time if killed early enough. The Herald also has an eye on its back that opens periodically, both when it spawns or when either team summons it, that deals a massive amount of true damage to it. A small jungle tip is to use the eye to finish of the Herald instead of using smite because of how much more damage it deals. Baron equals the purple worm that replaces Herald later in the game. This neutral monster, when killed, grants surviving members of the team that killed it the Baron buff, which grants bonus attack and ability power for a couple minutes. Teammates with this buff also gain an aura that buffs nearby ally minions to gain extra attack, attack speed, movement speed, and resistances. You lose the Baron buff when you die. Barons are typically taken by teams to end up games or to help siege turrets. Some strategies include splitting the team up to push 3 lanes at once, then rotating to the lane with less enemy teammates defending. They also gain faster recall channels. Dragons equals another neutral monster. This grants bonus stats or effects depending on the dragon. The first 2 dragons are a random elemental dragon, but after the second dragon is killed, the terrain of the map will change, and all dragons after will be the same element. Not sure if Dragon Soul will be implemented, but Dragon Souls is a massive buff given to teams that take a certain amount of dragons. Once a team gets the Dragon Soul, the elemental dragons are replaced with an Elder Drake. No info yet on what elemental Elder Drake will be on mobile. I will list the different dragons below in their effect. Ocean Drake. Resource Recovery. Mountain Drake. Defensive Stats. Cloud Drake. Cooldown reduction on ultimates. Infernal Drake. Increases offensive stats by a percentage. Objectives equals stuff that helps your team win the game directly or indirectly. This can be dragons, herald, barons, or enemy structures such as turrets and inhibitors. Early game equals the first couple minutes of the game where all turrets are up. Mid-game equals the time when the first turrets start to go down and people group up to take turrets and maybe a couple dragons. Late game equals when most turrets are down, most people are close to completing all their items, and teams try to end the game. Tank equals champions with strong base stats who builds primarily defensive items and serves to block damage from the enemy team and disrupt them with CC. They typically have abilities that scale with defensive items. They are strong early mid-game, but once DPS champions start ramping up or finishing builds, like ADCs, they start to get shredded down. Bruiser equals high-statted champions that are strong early to mid-game, but have restricted mobility to compensate. These champions typically build 1 to 2 offensive items before going into defensive items. These champions tend to be more offensive than tanks, but are less resilient as a result, being easier to kill. They also tend to have some form of sustain in their kit to regenerate health. Duelist equals strong 1v1 champions with a powerful defensive ability but pretty frail defenses. These are also known as split pushers who prefer to go solo in pressure lanes rather than teamfighting due to their lack of defenses. Not that they can't teamfight, just that they're a lot weaker in teamfights than other champions. Poke Mage equals these AP champions have long-ranged AoE abilities that tend to whittle opponents down before comboing them down once they're low enough. They tend to have slightly weaker abilities to compensate. Burst Mage equals these AP champions tend to have shorter range AoE abilities but deal immense damage with their combo. Battly Mage equals these AP champions tend to have shorter range abilities but excel in dealing DPS rather than bursting enemies down. Assassin equals high damage high mobility champions that single out an enemy carry to kill and escape after. Their frail defenses make them extremely squishy, so CC is typically a great answer against assassins in a teamfight. Enchanter equals a healer or shielder support champion with frail defenses. These champions help keep their team alive and are typically paired with the ADC in lane. These champions tend to have a cheaper pool of items that provide them with the stats they need. ADC equals your attack damage carry or marksman. These are champions that primarily deal damage through ranged auto attacks. They have very frail defenses but scale extremely well with items, outputting massive DPS later into the game. Due to their item dependency, however, they tend to need a lot of gold and items to scale up. Top lane, Herald Baron lane equals the lane next to Herald Baron. Tanks, duelists, and bruisers typically go this lane, as the long lane makes extended trades common while laning. Their long distance away from other lanes and dragon means that most champs either split push or take TP, summoner spell that teleports you after a channel to an ally turret, ward, or minion to join teamfights. Jungle equals the jungler takes the monster camps in the area between the lanes. They are typically objective controllers as their summoner spell smite deals a massive amount of true damage to jungle monsters. They are also responsible for ganking lanes, going to a teammate's lane to help kill the enemy. They tend to receive less gold and EXP than solo lanes due to the balance between clearing their jungle and ganking. Mid lane equals the lane right down the middle. Assassins and mages typically go here as the shorter distance between towers allows for more safety while laning. Champions in this lane, due to their location, tend to roam when non-junglers gank another lane to help either top, bot, or jungle. Bot lane, dragon lane equals the lane next to dragon. This lane primarily consists of an ADC and a support, as their close proximity allows them to assist their jungler to contest the dragon early on. That's all guys, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Once again, it's your boy Pipitich. Thank you all for watching, peace.